probably, let's see, these limbs, especially me out here with flip flops. And good morning. Welcome to another episode of Salty Country. Today, I'm going to share a new tool I've got with you, and I've never had one of these before. I've been looking at it for a while, so I decided to go with the Atlas from Harbor Freight. It's a limb saw. So, real quick, I'm going to go through what you have to get when you purchase one of these. All right, so here's the box that it comes in. This is the 40 volt, uh, has a 10-inch saw, has a 9-foot reach. So it's battery powered. So um, I think this was $57, somewhere in that ballpark, for just the saw. It comes in three pieces. You have the um, control part, you have an extension, and then you have the saw. Also, you have to buy a battery. You can buy a 40 volt battery, and I think it's like $79, or you can get the dual voltage 40 and 80 volt. And I was looking at some of their other products, and some of them are 80. So I said, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get the 40 volt and 80 volt battery. That way, if I get something else, um, I won't have to upgrade the battery. This battery is the most expensive um, piece of making this work. This battery was $139, I believe, and then I had to buy a charger, and the charger was either 47 or $49. All right, so that um, altogether was 200. You can do the math. 200 something bucks. I looked at a gas powered one yesterday, and it was a Steel brand, and I like Steel. I think it was somewhere around 500 bucks, and I just didn't want to spend that much. I'm not going to use this a whole lot once I get beyond the first initial limb trimming. It'll probably be a couple times a year thing, so it's not going to get a whole lot of use. But um, here to start with, it's going to get a good bit. I've got a lot of limbs on the farm that I want to trim. So this initial uh, cutting with this is going to be extensive. And I just wanted to share this so that anybody that is possibly looking into one of these, they can see how this goes with me. I'm just going to give honest feedback about it. I uh, I purchased all this myself. It's not sponsored, and um, the one thing that I will mention is when I purchased this, I was looking for um, a spare chain. So I asked the gentleman at the store, I said, do y'all sell the change for these here in the store? And he said, no. He says, you have to order them on harborfreight.com. So I did go on, go on the product on harborfreight.com, this product, and look at all the different things, parts and pieces and stuff. And you can order various parts and pieces for this on harborfreight.com. All right. So It also comes with a 100 milliliter bottle of chain oil. I've got chain oil in the garage for my chainsaw, but just to give you an idea, it only takes 100 milliliters to fill this up, and it has a sight glass with little indicators. Here's where you put the oil in. It's got a cover for the chain. I did charge the battery. Probably, let's see, it's got about probably 20 hours to charge. No, 18 hours to charge. It was charged in about, I kept monitoring it. It was charged in probably 3 or 4 hours. So, just to give you an idea, and that was my first initial charge. I don't know how long it's going to take to recharge this once it gets down to where it needs to be charged, but I'll maybe share that in a future uh, episode. But today we're going to get out here, and I'm probably going to start at the driveway out by the road. Um, we've got a oak tree that some of the limbs hang low out there, so I want to get those trimmed off. Um, that tree got mangled um, probably oh, 15 or 20 years ago. We had a similar to this, I think Hurricane Helen or Helene or whatever it was that came up through um, Georgia and North Carolina and South Carolina. We had a similar event back then. Hurricane came up through Georgia. We had, I don't know, tropical storm winds and stuff like that here, and it broke a probably a 36-inch oak next to it that was hollow at the bottom. It twisted it. It ended up falling into that tree, messed up a bunch of limbs. So some of the limbs are kind of growing down. So I'm gonna cut those off. But yeah, I'm hopefully optimistic that this thing is gonna be as good as they say. I looked at the reviews. A lot of people say it's it's great, but we'll see. Great to some people is not great to me, but I will say this: there was a lot of reviews on this, and 95, 96, and 98% somewhere in there of them were positive. So I'm very, very hopeful this is going to be a good tool to have here on the farm. So stick around. We'll get out here and put this thing to work. If you have any questions, remember to put them in the comments. There may be things that I didn't cover. Putting it, I will say this real quick. Putting this together is very easy. These locks just screw together. It has an arrow on the orange piece, and it has an arrow on the black shaft. You just line them up, slide them together, and tighten that down. And it's not very difficult. It's actually very easy to screw it on there, and you just snug it up. And it says to check these periodically when you're using it, which makes sense because it's going to be vibrating a lot. And let me look at this real quick. Okay. All right. This battery has an indicator on it. You touch this button and it lights up, shows you it's full charge. So you can kind of monitor that. I like that. I didn't notice that option. But yep, 100 milliliters. I was pouring this in this morning. I went ahead and filled this up. And I was like, you know what? I could, instead of dragging that uh, gallon jug of chain oil around with me. I could just fill this thing back up, stick it in my pocket, and not have to come back to the house, depending on where I'm at. But um, we'll see. It's going to be a um, interesting uh, exercise here. I've never had one of these. I have the old fashioned extended pole where you have to manually saw limbs. We have that at the house in Florida, mainly for maintaining the palm tree. But there is some other limbs down there that I have to cut periodically from time to time. So stick around. We're gonna get this thing out and put it to work. Making pretty quick progress. All right, let's see. I need to cut this limb off right here, so I need to get around. If I can turn this thing sideways, get this limb off. It's hanging down. This thing is top heavy. All right, let's see if I can cut that whole section right here off. If I can get to it. All right, she looks a lot better. I gotta go get the four-wheeler and the trailer and clean this up. Okay, I'm back over at the house. So far, this thing's awesome. I'm going to cut some of this limb here and get it shorter. It's dead. That way I can get it loaded onto the trailer easier. Yeah, it is top heavy, but I like the weight up there. When you start cutting, you just basically let the weight of it kind of push its way through. All right, let me move the camera so you can kind of see what I'm doing as I go around this thing. Got a few leaves in there. Set this down. We'll keep going. I'm trying to get these limbs to where I can go under them with the equipment, excavator, bobcat, and all that kind of stuff. So, some of those limbs I was cutting out at the beginning of the driveway were 4 or 5 inches. That's what you got to watch for. All right, keep going. And I would say, depending on how you're moving these, the shorter the better. I've got the trailer for the four wheeler, and it's a 5x10 trailer. And some of this stuff here is a little bit big, but it'll all still fit on there. All right, we'll shorten this. And I'm going to cut a good bit of this one off. Cut it off right here. There's an old swing there that Ellen used to do some photo shoots at. All right. Let me reposition the camera. It's pretty fast. I like it so far. All right, I got a decent amount on the ground. I got some cleanup to do in a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that one limb right there. It's got a little bit of growth on it still. It's up out of the way. That one's dead. All right, let's see what we got here. Looks like I got a dead limb over there. Let's see if I can reach this one. Like butter. All right, let's see. Got a dead limb right here. Let's fucking reach it. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to reach the rest. Cut a few of these low hanging. All right, this is better. I've got one right over here next to the camera that I need to get. It's probably all right. All right, Atlas 40-volt limb trimmer. Pretty good so far. Before I cut that all the way, I need to shorten some of this. That's the one thing you got to watch is kickback with these limbs, especially be out here with flip flops. And last thing I want to do is hit myself in the toe. All right, it's tall enough. Going to shorten some of this up so I can get under it with a mower. I don't get over here much with equipment because I don't want to mess the yard up. Main thing, I just wanted to get it to where I could get under here with the mower. That limb right there will probably need to be trimmed at some point, but I'm going to leave it for right now. Well, I'm impressed. It did better than I expected. Now, this thing is top heavy. Um, I don't know how much it weighs, um, but it's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 pounds, I would think. But it's nice the weight of the head. If you get it up there and you're trying to get positioned, it's got this little hook, so you can kind of hook it on a limb and rest it till you get yourself positioned. Um, but yeah, basically once you just set the chain on it, the bar on the limb, just let the weight of the head here, it'll kind of push it through. So I did grab some steel bar oil, chain oil, and top this off when I got back, just so I could see um, how much it used. And it's probably, of all the cutting I just did, I would say you probably need to check it at that point. Um, Probably when I do this in the future, I'll have the four-wheeler with me in the trailer, have the bar oil. I can haul this around on the trailer, and I can load limbs up as I cut them. But yep, I'm impressed, pleased. Um, we'll continue to share any videos where we use this so you can see the use that I put on this thing, so that you can kind of see the reliability of it. But I think it's going to be a good one. So I think I'm going to wrap this up. If you got any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section, and I'll try to respond back. If I don't know the answer, there's probably somebody else in the comments or that watches the video that can answer it. But I want to thank everyone for watching. Remember, if you like our content, subscribe, share it with your friends. We'll see you on the next one.